The Ferrari sat helplessly on the side of a quiet Canadian highway, red paint gleaming uselessly under a gray sky. The man behind the wheel stared at the dashboard in disbelief as the engine died for the third time. His phone showed one bar, then none. Snowflakes began to fall, light but steady. He sighed, rubbing his temples, already late for a meeting that meant millions. That's when he heard a small voice from behind him say, "My dad can fix it." He turned, startled, and saw a little girl standing with a pink backpack and hopeful eyes, as if this broken supercar was no more complicated than a toy. Her name was Lily. She couldn't have been more than 8. She pointed across the road where a rusty pickup truck was parked near a modest house with smoke rising from the chimney. "My dad fixes everything," she said softly, like it was a secret promise. The millionaire hesitated. He'd spent his life trusting only professionals, contracts, and money. But the cold was biting, and there was something in her confidence that made him nod. "All right," he said, surprising himself. Her father, Mark, came out wiping his hands on an old rag, wearing a worn jacket and boots dusted with snow. He listened quietly as the man explained the problem, nodding, not once mentioning the brand or the cost of the car. "Pop the hood," he said simply. Lily watched proudly, her hands stuffed into her sleeves. Mark worked slowly, methodically, fingers stiff from years of labor, murmuring to himself. The millionaire stood awkwardly, unused to standing idle while someone else solved his problems. As minutes passed, the wind picked up. Lily offered the man her mittens, insisting he'd be colder than her. He tried to refuse, but she had already slipped them into his hands. They were small, frayed, and warm. Something twisted in his chest. He couldn't remember the last time someone had given him something without expecting anything back. Mark finally straightened up. "Fuel line froze," he said. "Happens out here. I've warmed it, patched it enough to get you to town." He closed the hood gently, like the car was fragile despite its power. The engine turned over, smooth and alive. Relief washed over the man, followed quickly by embarrassment at how helpless he'd been. He pulled out his wallet, offering cash that could have paid a month's rent, maybe more. Mark shook his head. "No need," he said. "Just doing what I can." Lily smiled up at her dad like he was the strongest man in the world. The millionaire insisted, finally pressing the money into Lily's backpack when Mark wasn't looking. She looked confused but didn't stop him. As he drove away, he couldn't shake the image of that small house, the quiet dignity of a man who fixed things without applause, and a little girl who believed in him completely. He reached his meeting late, but for the first time in years, the numbers didn't matter as much. Weeks passed. Winter deepened. One evening, Mark came home to find a sleek SUV parked outside his house, completely out of place. Lily ran out, waving. The same man stepped out, this time without a suit, holding a folder and a nervous smile. He explained that he owned a company that restored and resold classic cars. He'd been looking for someone with real skill, someone who worked with heart, not ego. He offered Mark a position, fair pay, benefits, training, and flexible hours so he could still be there for Lily. Mark was speechless. He'd been laid off months earlier, fixing neighbors' cars for groceries and favors. Pride had kept him going, but fear followed him to sleep every night. Lily squeezed his hand. "I told you," she whispered. "You can fix anything." That spring, Lily walked past a bright garage with her dad's name on the door. The Ferrari sat inside, perfectly restored, but Mark was laughing with coworkers, grease on his hands, life steady again. The millionaire watched from a distance, understanding finally that what had broken down that day wasn't just his car, but his belief that money was what fixed the world. Sometimes, all it takes is a little girl's whisper on a cold roadside to remind someone what really matters.